Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, I have a quick update for you guys on Andrew and Tristan Tate. If you guys don't know who these fools are, basically, they are just scum of the earth. They have been accused of all kinds of crimes against women, and they have gotten off the hook over and over and over again. Andrew Tate had become kind of like an influencer. He used to be a fighter, professional fighter, and then he became like this influencer, very MAGA coded. And then it started coming out that, oh, yeah, by the way, he's like holding women against their will, forcing them to make videos that they don't want to make, violating them, blah, 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 trafficking them. So these are the accusations against he and his brother. Well, they came to the United States, down in Florida. They were down in Florida. And to his credit, Ron DeSantis said, hey, if you're in my state, I'm going to arrest you because there were charges against him in another country. Well, for some reason, our country hasn't brought charges against him, but anyway, or either of them. So they left the country, and then apparently they came back at some point. Donald Trump got involved somehow. His son Barron is a big supporter, big fan of Andrew Tate, which tells you everything you need to know about Barron Trump. I mean, like father, like son, right? So anyway, they somehow ended up back in Florida, and they were just arrested. They were arrested mid-July. And they're being held currently in a Florida jail. They're awaiting extradition to the UK because in the UK they have like 59 charges filed against them. All these things involving women. So, there was all this question, oh, is Donald Trump going to intervene? Is he not? Blah, blah, blah. He said he wouldn't. But again, they're friends with Barron Trump. So you never know. And of course, Donald Trump is a habitual liar. So anyway, it appeared that Donald Trump wasn't going to do anything. So far, he hasn't. It's been a few weeks. Well, Andrew Tate's attorney just issued a warning to Donald Trump and the Republican Party in a Vanity Fair interview. The fact that these guys are still being interviewed when they're, facing these kinds of charges and they're in prison or jail, just disgusting. So here's an article that the Daily Beast wrote on this. So here's part of what their attorney said, which is laughable. He said Andrew Tate was a material participant in ensuring President Trump's victory. Was he? If Trump doesn't support him, and if the next people who are going to be running for office potentially are just like, yeah, down the river he goes, that young cohort of people will break with the Republican Party in the next election. So understand what they're saying here. They're saying that Andrew Tate and his brother are so crucial, are such, influencers, that they hold so much sway with young voters that they will not help Donald Trump and the Republicans to win. First of all, so full of themselves, just the hubris of these people. Like, they just truly believe that they're greater than they are. They have such massive egos. They just think they're too smart. They've got control of everything. They pull the levers, they pull the puppet strings. Obviously, these guys aren't reading any papers. They aren't looking at any polls either. Because if they had, they would know that the young voters, especially, have ditched Trump, like, unbelievably so. Like, they want nothing to do with him. Young voters in particular took a chance on Trump, didn't remember what a nightmare his first term was. And there was all the buzz, and it was like, the vibe, and Andrew Schultz and Joe Rogan. You had, Tim Dillon, like all of those guys who were stumping for Trump, who were having him on their shows, who were saying that he, oh, he sounds great, he's funny, let's go for him. Those are the real influencers. Those are the ones who actually helped to get the young vote over to Donald Trump. Andrew Tate does not matter. In fact, I just read an article today that said, yeah, like MAGA is kind of falling apart. It's, pretty much just a shell of its former self because Andrew Tate and his brother are in prison and nobody even cares. And it's true. I don't see anything on Twitter. They're not trending. And meanwhile, I don't know if it's them or someone else, but on one of their accounts, on Andrew Tate's account, somebody is posting and saying, "Oh, it's so horrible in here, and we have, the water is filthy, it's brown, and they won't give us decent food, and we have this and that, and all." Like, yeah, it's jail, guy. It's jail. You are totally fine with doing this to immigrants or even just brown and black people who are legally here in the United States. You're fine with that. But then when you get subjected to that same treatment, you have a problem. And then, as I said to whoever it was who posted it, karma's really a bitch, isn't it? Because, yeah, it must really suck to be held against your will and forced to do things you don't want to do. Hmm. Imagine what that's like. Anyway, so yeah, fuck Andrew Tate, or as I call him, Andrew Taint. All right, guys, and his brother, and the horse he rode in on. All right, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.